Just get it done, mate. Yeah.
Fires.
All right, mate.
Bruno is an Arsenal player.
Delighted.
Let's go straight in.
Yeah.
How big of a statement is this signing?
What? Significant. Do you remember in the other podcast we were saying that Bruno was a football signing? You know, Vini would have been something which was like a commercial sort of like, franchise deal. But Bruno for our team is absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect, mate. Obviously complementing Declan Rice and all the other midfielders he's going to play with. It locks in our midfield, doesn't it? You know, those four are phenomenal now. Those four are phenomenal. We've got young hail end talent in there. And we always forget how old Lewis Skelly is, but young hail end talent in there. We've got Zubimendi in there, who's by all means genuinely a top midfielder. You've got one of the best in Declan Rice, and now we've just added. That midfield is locked in, mate. And I'd like to think that across the world there aren't many better four central midfielders at any one club. I'm not sure there is.
I think so.
I'm not sure there is. And there's other stuff, mate. The fact that he's Premier League ready, the fact that he's actually, in terms of energy on the pitch, he's the only player that I've seen that matches or gets close to Declan anyway. Elliot Anderson's one, fine, but we weren't going to pay a king's ransom for him. And Rodri's just graceful, isn't he? He's a graceful bastard, but he's still graceful, isn't he? He's still very good at football. So, apart from them, really, and Anderson's got to prove it to me, I think we've signed the best one.
Yeah, to me, I think the big thing with him, he fits either role of our midfield, just like Rice does, which is going to be so massive for hopefully giving some of these players a bit of time off, especially midfield who, at the end of last season, they were absolutely running to the ground, weren't they, Zubimendi and Rice?
Yeah,
if we can split those minutes between the three of them a bit.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's going to emerge a two, and I think we probably know who that is. We'll get into that in a bit. But I think
he's a bit different, though, isn't he? He's just that little bit different, I think he's more, or like Lewis Skelly is more like him, insofar as that, Zubimendi is like a deep-lying playmaker, very Spanish in that way. Declan is just like all-round Mr. Amazing. But I think Bruno is like the kind of player that I think Lewis Skelly would like to be, and has the potential to be, where he's pressing up front, he's on the front foot, he shoots, he assists, and he's Brazilian, mate. So he's got something about him where he could, ole,
Yeah.
I have no other way of describing it apart from ole.
I think everyone knows exactly what you mean, though.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think that's I'm genuinely delighted, and I think our midfield is looking, our midfield four is looking good. And it also means I'm going to piss on our parade a little bit now. It also means that if we need to play Declan Rice at right back, we won't lose as much in midfield then, because some of the moves that Arteta did last year were diabolical when he moved Declan Rice to right back.
Well, he played back as well a bit for West Ham as well, didn't he? So
so we might need that at some point. But anyway, I am delighted, mate, and the money's a bargain. I couldn't care less. How much he cost.
Where do you think this ranks among the signings of? Let's just talk the Emirates era, because before that things are very, very different. But where do you think this ranks among the signs of like Ozil, Sanchez? Who the other real big signs we've made? Obviously, Aubameyang at the time. There's been a few, and obviously some Declan Rice more recently. Where's this rank amongst those sort of players?
I think it's up there. I don't think Declan Rice was transformational for us as a club. Declan Rice wasn't a player that Arsenal usually go and spend and do their absolute bollocks on. Do you know what I mean? That just doesn't happen with Declan Rice. So that doesn't happen with Arsenal Football Club with a player like Declan Rice. Guaranteed, when Chelsea were cheating and Man City were cheating and Man United was just mortgaging everything to keep up with them, he would have gone to one of those three. He would not come to us. No way. So that for me, that's a different kind of signing. I think everyone else you've mentioned was name. So Ozil was from Real Madrid, obviously.
Yeah.
Sanchez was sensational as a footballer. I don't think there's been a player like that post the Henry era at Arsenal, but I think Bruno's up there, man. But I think Bruno's up. I wish that we'd have got him about 2 years ago. But then you're kind of, are you buying the same player then? I mean, he was good as well 2 years ago, to be fair. But no, I'm very happy with this, mate. I'm very happy with this. It feels like to me that we've bought a big game player, and I think that's what's really important. Is that, you know, we'll run through teams next year. We're defending champions. We will smash people just for being the sake, you know, for the sake of being champions. I think Bruno's a big game player, mate. When we go to like Anfield, Etihad, we won't be lightweight. We just won't be lightweight. And I think that's Bruno brings that into the team. But then, you know, a lot of the stuff discussed about Bruno is passion and all the other words that basically mean passion. But I think he's more than that. I think he's a good footballer. You know, he's got assists on his name. His shooting is half decent, and he gets a few goals. And I think maybe had we have got him 2 years ago, he might not have been the player that he is now, where he's, you know. And we're signing players in that sweet spot, like an Eze, like Bruno, where this might be the last chance to win something big. And I think when you've got players who have won a league now, or might become, it's human nature, mate. You might become a little bit more relaxed about something, maybe complacent. Complacent is a bit strong for a professional athlete, but you know, I think Bruno's the kind of person that will come into a squad and raise it again. And I'm loving it, mate. I'm loving it. If we could just sign some forwards, I'd be delighted. But Bruno, to answer your question, mate, I think it's up there. I think it's up there as a really big signing. I think we've done him a little bit of a disservice, have the fan base and the club so far, because we were trying to sign Vini Jr at the same time.
Yeah.
So that shadow was large, but mate, make no mistake, this is a stellar signing for Arsenal Football Club.
Yeah, I do wonder if we hadn't had the Vini chase, whether not that people aren't excited about it, but I don't think there's maybe the level of excitement that he deserves.
Yeah. And I'm genuinely excited about Bruno playing for Arsenal. You know, I would never have admitted that last year when we weren't signing him and we played him, and I was telling everyone that he's shit. He just goes around punching people. He's rubbish. No, he's a very, very good footballer. And I've now seen a clip on YouTube, which is over the Brazilian advert. Do you know the song they play in the airport?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but I know the song.
Everyone knows the song, right?
Your classic sort of samba song.
Right. I've just seen his highlights over that music, and I'm sold. I'm sold. Any Brazilian, if you're listening, you want to do some marketing for yourself, get that music over literally anything. If you're cooking, ironing, or playing football, just play that music, and it looks fantastic. But yeah, I can't wait to see him at Arsenal. Can't wait to see him at Arsenal.
I think something else he brings. He is obviously Newcastle's captain, but when he could come in tomorrow and be named captain, you know, couldn't he? He would definitely be on the shortlist. If we sold Odegaard or something, he would definitely be on the shortlist. Not saying we named it, but you know, straight away you know he's going to be in that like leadership group or whatever they call it these days. You know, at the clubs. Yeah. You know, one captain does it all. So I think that's he's a massive signing. You
mentioned Odegaard, don't you, mate? I mean, this is the perfect type of player to free people up like that. Yeah. Your Odegaards, your Ezes, your Havertz, Saka. He frees them up perfectly, and you don't have this drop in level when we're rotating. So, stellar signing.
Yeah, I think it'll take a little bit of the pressure off of some of the other players that maybe Zubimendi doesn't. Like Zubimendi's like a lovely footballer to watch, I think, and like great at what he does, but I don't think he's going to give the same help to some other players as that I think Bruno will do when he comes in.
I like Zubimendi, and I've liked.
I do as well. I honestly do like him.
Yeah, I know we've spoken about how he's a top quality footballer. That he is. I liked, and I really, from the moment he came on against England to replace Rodri, and he looked amazing. And I said, God, if we could sign him, he's top player, man. Especially at the time to replace the man whose name we should not mention. So great. I think Bruno is the player that I would like Zubimendi to be.
Yeah.
And I think that for me, it's just that just we're talking about margins, mate. It's just that it's that little 5% on top of what Zubimendi's got, where there's an aggression to him. Not to be all passion merchant about it, but there's an aggression to him which just suits England and suits the Premier League. And
because I don't think it's a talent thing, is it? It is more of a mentality thing more than just pure like footballing ability.
Yeah, we saw it with Zubimendi in the beginning of the season. He was phenomenal. He scored a volley from outside the area, top bins, like, you know. He's got everything, mate. But it's just, you know, the Premier League, England caught up with him towards the end of the season, and I think that cost us big time. Well, that will not cost us again. No chance. Not with Bruno. No way. So we did a podcast a while back about Arteta, and one of the things that I said was that I really like about Arteta, amongst the many things which annoy me, one of the things that I really like about Arteta is he spots something during the season and he fixes it. Then it might just be that something else gets dislodged because of it. That's normal. And it might just be that the solution that he tries to fix, the person he tries to fix it with, is not something we all agree on. But that drop in our midfield's quality last year was noticeable. That doesn't happen this year with Bruno.
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, well happy.
Everyone's fit. We're in the Champions League final. Who starts? And is it these two? Are they two starting next to ever? Not the best picture of them here, is it? But
no,
it's got to be those two, hasn't it?
It makes me happy, mate. Yep. Well, it'd be nice if the picture had a gold Premier League on the side there, you know.
I do also have this one lined up. Them two hugging it out.
Misunderstanding.
Pals already, just having a little cuddle there.
Yeah. Misunderstanding. You know, it was meant to be. It was meant to be. As I think I've said it to you before. I've got a friend of mine who's actually spoke to him today. He bought his new Newcastle shirt for the new season, which doesn't have a number at the back or a name, which is hilarious. But because he always gets Bruno's, and he argued with me till blue in the face. Declan Rice is not a patch on Bruno. Declan Rice is not a patch on. What, you think Zubimendi is better than Bruno? What, you think Declan Rice is better than Bruno? It's an irrelevant argument. Doesn't matter anymore, mate. I've got both. I'll enjoy both, thanks. Yeah, I mean, they're in each other's faces because they are that type of player, right? Do you know what I mean? I'm delighted, mate. Honestly, I'm excited. I just, you know, it's the shadow of Vini that's caused us to kind of deflate it, but dilute it a little bit. The arrival.
Right there.
I mean, if you drew up a short list of five players in the Premier League that you think that you could get, because I'd like to buy Rodri, but I hate him, and they'd never sell him to us. But
yeah, we're not signing Haaland, are we?
No,
we're never getting him.
So if you drew up a short list of 5 players in the Premier League that you would like from, you know, like that you could get, Bruno would be one of them, 100%.
I don't think you even need 5, to be honest. I don't think you need 5 names to make on that list to be there.
Yeah, I'm being nice. Yeah, and he excels us. You know, he makes us better, 100%. We excel because of Bruno's arrival. I just hope we can back it up with other signings.
How do you think this does affect Rice's role? How do you see him playing together going forward? Do you think we'll see Rice a bit deeper, or sort of be a bit of both, maybe?
Yeah. Do you remember when we had Vieira and Gilberto, and we were like, because everyone always assumes that Patrick Vieira was a holding midfielder, and he wasn't. Yeah. He was box to box. That's why I've often said that Declan Rice, what is Patrick Vieira, for me, is the closest thing that we've ever had to Patrick Vieira.
Totally agree.
And, Gilberto, and I remember thinking, oh, Gilberto's going to hold now, because then people like to break things down into binaries, right? So it's black or white, left and right kind of thing, right? And then before that we had Vieira and Petit. You've just got two very good central midfielders that can do everything back and forward.
Yeah.
And when one goes, one stays, and they can build a relationship with each other. And so yeah, I don't see it any different to that. I see it as this is the best midfield two we've had since Vieira and Petit. Hands down. The best.
It has a chance to be better as well.
I think so.
I think it has the potential.
Yeah, 100%. But currently, like if you looked at all our midfield twos for the last 25, maybe a bit more years, these are the two best that we've had. The two best that Arsenal Football Club have put together.
We've spoken before about having the best centre-back pairing in the world.
Mm.
If these two can click, there's a chance we have the best centre-back pairing and the best central midfield pairing in the world. I think there's obviously you could argue for, but especially for a Premier League style as well. There might be others that in Europe that fit their style or maybe fit the Champions League style more. But for a Premier League style, I don't think you're going to get a better pairing than these two.
No, I don't think so. I think the ones that run you close are like just the top clubs, right? So PSG with Vitinha and Neves.
Yeah, of course.
But I think these two can run through them, and not just on a physical level, which they would, but maybe on even a technical level as well. But the other ones I'd kind of consider would be like, I think today I read that Rodri's going to Barcelona now and not Madrid because they've done all their pesos on Vini's renewal, so their midfield will be formidable next year. That's about it. I can't think of anyone else. No one in the UK anyway. And then we're just
especially if Rodri leaves. City would have an argument with Rodri and Anderson if Anderson can, step up to that next level. I think he's easily out of these. If you put the four together, I think he's easily number 4 out of these midfielders. But they're the one that would probably have an argument in the Premier League, wouldn't they?
Yeah.
Obviously, Spurs think they've got the best midfield in the league now, don't they? With
they've got the best of everything. I mean, it's just a complete shock. They just finished like a few points above relegation. It's mental they do that.
Just the refs probably or something. I don't know, but best midfield in the world. Yeah. Best midfield to not be playing European football probably for the next few years.
Yeah, so. Best midfield in the world, best defense in the world, best defenders, and they just they're shit. So yeah, the thing is, I remember when we were shit, right? And as an Arsenal fan, you sit there and go, "Oh, we've got a chance. We've got Aubameyang, we've got Bellerin's good, and Mertesacker's all right," and you're just like, you just get slapped, and you're like, "Oh no, we're not good. We're not good.
Yeah.
We're just not good, lads." We have to admit it. But yeah, jokes aside, I absolutely think that that's a top midfield pairing, man. As I said, best midfield we've had in 25 years at the football club.
Yeah, I think we might not see it for a little bit of time this season, but at least at full flight. But it's gonna be fun when them two
what
put them together.
Arteta, Dave. Post Christmas, that's all we're gonna see.
Oh yeah. Yeah, we don't need to worry about not seeing it in August too much, do we? It's we're gonna see plenty of it.
Yeah, he's only gonna play them two from Christmas until the end of the season. Like Zubimendi and Lewis Kelly are not gonna get a look in because Arteta's just gonna run them into the ground, mate. So yeah, as is his style.
Do you have any concerns? Obviously, a lot of people, the sort of detractors of this signing, would point to his age. He's going to turn 29 towards the end of the year.
Yeah.
In a couple of years, he'll be in his 30s, and there is a decline at that stage. But I mean, I think it's been overrated. But do you have any concerns about that sort of stuff?
No. No. These are not concerns if it's someone else signing him. These are genuine concerns that for some reason come up when we sign someone.
Yeah.
So no one is concerned about Declan Rice's position until Arsenal signed Declan Rice. No one is concerned about Bruno's age. No one mentioned his age last year when he was smashing top bins and dominating games where I think Newcastle had like 9 men. I remember watching him against Liverpool and he just dominated the game, even though you had they'd lost 2 players, been sent off or whatever. No concerns about his age then. No concerns about his physical decline or anything like that at all. No physical. He played the whole season with Newcastle, then went to the World Cup and played all of Brazil's games. No concerns then about his decline. Suddenly we've paid money for him and got him. Oh, you've overpaid, mate. Oh, he'll be done in 2 years. Okay. So yeah, to answer your question, mate, not at all. Not at all. Can you see any physical decline in Bruno?
I mean, I think it will happen. It's going to happen at some stage. But the way I've seen people talk is if we get 2 years out of him as a top player, then in 2 seasons' time, he's going to be absolutely nobody, completely washed. Yeah. He's done. Even if there is a bit of a decline, which, it happens.
Yeah.
He'll be 30, 31 at that stage. It will probably happen a little bit of a drop-off. But I think he's a good enough footballer to sort of adapt his style for a start. But he's not just going to go from this to just basically done. There is sort of an in-between stage there, which I think will still be very useful.
Well, look, I mean, I think sometimes people get a bit, sort of overly excited to give their opinion on things, which is ironic coming from 2 lads on a podcast, right? But I think people are just trying to be the smart guy in the room and say things like, he's going to have this, he's going to have that. But, ultimately, everyone's different, mate. And he's not a striker who's played since he was 16 and he's got burnout at 28. This is a completely different profile of player. So, no, I don't accept any of those arguments, mate. I think we saw Jorginho, who we used to wheel out in a wheelchair every weekend to come and play, defensive midfield for us. After he'd already physically declined at Chelsea, we bought him.
Yeah.
And he still did a job for us, to be fair, did Jorginho. So it just depends how you play and where you end up. And this is a club managed by someone who nobody said that at the time we signed Arteta. I think we signed him when he was 28, 29, I think.
Yeah, I was going to say, probably a very similar point of their career, wasn't it?
Same sort of profile of player. I mean, if there's anyone in the squad that Arteta will look at and say, that's how I used to play, pretty similar to Bruno, right? Maybe not as good, definitely not as good. But so in that case,
Arteta remodeled himself, didn't he? He was a lot more of an attacking player before he came to us. Yeah, and then by the time he was finished with us, he was basically an all-out 6, wasn't he? He wasn't doing any attacking really.
Exactly right, and I think you've hit the nail on the head there. If that is the case, then if these kind of players are intelligent enough to remodel their game. If you think that Declan Rice in a few years won't end up being, less sort of marauding all over the pitch and doesn't settle down into a position, then and maybe being that 6 that everyone says he's always been, then where he plays for England, I think, then you're mental, because that's obviously what he's going to have to manage himself a bit better. But I've got no concerns at the moment, mate. I mean, we've often talked about cycles of teams and stuff and whatever. Bruno is there and is going to be a key linchpin for this cycle of this team. And I'm not really sure where the issue is with his fitness, because Big Gabby, I think, was 27, 28 now. So he's going into that period. No mention of Big Gabby having a physical decline. Okay, he plays at centre-back, but does he get through less work? I mean, we defend quite a lot.
He's a very physical person as well, isn't he?
That's kind of my point. But I bet you though, mate, if we were signing Big Gabby right now from I don't know, wherever, pick a club. If we were signing Big Gabby right now, they'd be going, oh, yeah, he's 28. He's physically going to decline. Like, these are just people trying to find stuff wrong with something. Yeah. Like, what does it even mean, mate? Like, I don't buy it, mate.
I think as well in the past we've been too guilty of worrying about 3-4 years down the line. You know, if he does have a big drop off in 3 years, we'll sign someone else. Hopefully, Lewis Skelly's come through, and you know he can take over from him. Or I think too often in the past we've been too worried about. You know, we've had a chance to really. We're on the cusp of being an incredible team, and then we've not taken that next step. But this is a sort of transfer that can see you take the next step, I think. And yeah, I'm just delighted with it.
I'm 100% with you there, mate. I think when you talk about a player's age and physical decline and the amount of money you've paid for him, it's sort of like someone's presenting you with an equation, right? And I think that all makes sense if you're a selling club. We haven't been that for a while. And even if we wanted to be, mate, we can't sell anyone. So the way I see it is, you know, we need him for today because we're challenging today. We're defending champions today. So I don't really give a shit about tomorrow. I don't care. Get it done.
What we worried about his value in 2 years when we know we wouldn't be able to sell him even if we didn't want to sell him. It's pointless.
Even if if he was 22 and we bought him and in 2 years' time, 24, Real Madrid came in for him, we couldn't sell him for the kind of money that Chelsea or City could sell him for. You know, we're lucky to make a profit on him because we're just so shit at it. So, yeah. I don't care. If you're going to burn money, burn it on someone that's really good. And Bruno is really good.
Yeah, I think it's on the finished article, isn't it? Which we haven't done a great deal of in, you know, the last 20 years. There's not been many that we've bought someone who is. I mean, if the flaws you're picking out are his age, then I'm more than fine with that.
Yeah,
and he's still only 28 as well.
Mate, I remember we talking about finished articles and stuff, right? We bought Aubameyang, and Aubameyang wasn't that young when we bought him. And forgive me, I don't remember what his actual age was when we bought him, but he was in his late 20s, 100% in his late 20s. And Aubameyang was whatever issues he had, and he had some issues, and he was, you know, problematic towards the end. He was sensational for us. Won the Golden Boot once or twice in the Premier League, playing for essentially a top 4 club, top 5, top 6 club. He was Golden Boot. So when you buy the finished article, you can impose a level of expectation instead of sort of speculating on what they might do or what they might become. I think and this is, I've said it before, mate. This is the kind of thing that Ferguson would do, mate. Year in, year out, he'd pick the best. He did it to Tottenham about 4 times.
Yeah,
he'd just go and say, right, I want him, and he'd get him, or he'd go to, you know, do you know what I mean? Or go to wherever. He did it to us with Van Persie. I'll take Robbie Van Persie. So this is what you do, mate. This is what you do, and Bayern Munich do it, as you said before. PSG just buy everyone. They don't give a shit about the rest of France. And Real Madrid, Barcelona. So this is what they do, mate. And as I said, and I make you right, actually, it wouldn't be top 5 players. He'd probably be in the top 3 players, top 2 players that I'd want to sign from outside the clubs that we can do deals with. So delighted, mate. And also bonus, Dave, we don't have to play him anymore.
No, that would be very, very nice.
Because he was a nightmare. Every time we played him, he really wanted to beat us. So I'm just delighted we don't have to play him. Excellent.
Yeah. Well, let's move on to, you know, less good news, shall we? Sorry to do this to you. I know you'd only just jumped on board the train that we were going to sign him. You and Nath were basically all in, weren't you?
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to like rub anything in. So, I mean, Junior, how did you feel when it came through that? Obviously, the actual contract come through a couple of days later, I think, didn't it? But there was it on Tuesday or Wednesday? It sort of looked like, oh, okay. I think they had a meeting with Madrid and Yeah.
Done.
Positive talk said basically, didn't they? And at that stage,
That was it. That was it.
We're done.
That was it. There was a few lads on Twitter that were like, like ITKs who were like, no, we're still in it. We've got a chance. Yeah. So
yes, give it up, lads. Come on.
Yeah, I ended up just spending the rest of my day trolling them. Like even when he held up this shirt, I was going, no, there's still a chance. But don't lose hope. But yeah, it was always going to be a long shot, and I feel like Nathan should be here defending us more than me. But since I'm one that's here,
as I said to you before we started, and he infected you with his positivity. He got you, got your hopes up. Where I was immune. Yeah.
Yeah, I've been groomed into being positive. I was being extremely negative about FIFA and Chelsea and City, and I just wanted some positivity. And Vini Jr, the Samba smile and his new chin were going to make me happy. But no, the world is not as pleasing as that, I'm afraid. Yeah, look, I definitely sold it to myself. I definitely saw ways it could happen, but ultimately, mate, Real Madrid have been sensible and thought, you know what? How much are we going to spend replacing Vini Jr. for whatever we let him go for? Let's just put that on a contract and give it to him. It's a sensible thing to do. And look, at the end of the day, whether they don't want to pay this, this magical renewal fee that they didn't want to pay to any other club, eventually, mate, they were going to pay this to. They're going to pay it to him. If they don't pay it to him, they're going to pay it to Jude. They're going to pay it to someone else. And for them to be the best club in the world, they've got to keep the best players. Or for them to at least be Real Madrid, maybe not the best club in the world, but at least to be Real Madrid, they will have to keep him. So, you know what? Got to be philosophical about it. You were right, and yes, unfortunately, Nathan and I were wrong. But, I'm happy we went for it. I've had loads of texts on my phone giving me abuse as well. Loads. You said you were going to shake the world. You said you were going to do this, which I did say. And you can't fault the ambition. I mean, you're never going to tell fucking turds who support other clubs that, I'm really happy about the ambition we showed and stuff. But, in a safe Arsenal space, I'm sure I could make my case that I was happy about the ambition, the level of player we went after. And do you know what? For everyone that's going to have a dig at Arsenal, right? When Saliba's renewal was coming up a few years ago, right? Because I've seen it. People, fucking Newcastle fans, right? Have put old food chain, right, for us in Real Madrid. When Saliba was renewing a year ago, 2 years ago, and Real Madrid was saying that they'd agreed terms with him, basically the inverse of what happened with Vini Jr. There were stories that they'd agreed terms with him. And then Saliba stayed. Was that food chain? Why didn't he go? So why is it all of a sudden we're dickheads now for doing this, for trying that? Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'd rather behave like Real Madrid, mate, than anybody else. So, yeah, I'll take a loss on this, but it was nice while it lasted. Yeah, it was nice while it lasted.
We'll chat about it more on Tuesday when Nath's back. But I do worry about what's going to happen the rest of this summer now. Where
it's a good point. Now.
I don't know. I've just got real horrible feeling of like some sort of deadline day move for someone that we're going to pay way too much money for. And
I think Chelsea have got like 150 players they want to move on, don't they? So
and we know that they love shopping at Chelsea, don't they?
So I'm worried that we're going to do something silly there, but I don't know. What do you do if you're Arsenal? Because you've shown your hand. I mean, people know we've got money anyway, so it's not as if like it's a surprise. But we've shown. I don't
think the transfer was going to go much more than what some of these other transfers are this year. If it looked like 150 million or so if we were going to sign him, and because some of the other players that are not even in that close that category, and I'm not even Vinny's biggest fan, but some of the other players that are going for similar fees are just insane money, aren't they?
Yeah, and because I'm worried about doing stuff like going and intercepting bar color.
I'm really worried about that one.
That's 100
I
and
mean,
yeah, 150
I think
million.
Nate likes him, doesn't he, a bit more than us? But
Well, he's really good. He's really good on Football Manager. So I think sometimes you can get swayed by how good someone is on that game, but it might not transpire. Usually does though. Weirdly, that game is weird. Anyway,
they're very good scouts. We should actually hire some of their scouts because I'm not sure we've actually got any of these still. Didn't they get rid of all these scouts? I haven't got many back.
We absolutely should. Knowing the club, they're probably just paying Arsenal Vision to do it for them on the side. I mean, or one of those embedded podcasts. But with
Clive reporting directly to Berta or whatever.
Yeah, just a shadowy figure in the corner of a stand somewhere. We've
done a 3-hour presentation, said about three actual things of note, but it's taken a long time to get there.
Yeah, do you know what I mean? In his dulcet tones, no less.
Yeah.
So I think I worry about doing 150 million. I've been reading today about Kenan Yildiz, the Juventus left winger.
Yeah.
He signed a new deal, but they're going to want 100 plus. These aren't 100 plus £1 million midfielders, mate.
That's what I'm worried about.
Yeah, but then I don't know. I'm a little bit worried about Martinelli being rubbish.
Yeah, I do get it. I think I am the positive Martinelli man on this podcast. I do think I think he's fine, but I do totally understand why people are worried about going into season with him. It's the obvious weak point in the team now, isn't it? I think it's the one glaring weakness on that left side.
Well, we've got two, mate. I mean, the pursuit of Vini Jr. just displays that we're taking the left side seriously, which is good, right? And if we get someone, like a Nico Williams for like 60, 70 million quid, I could stomach that.
Yeah,
maybe even
80 million. With that.
Yeah, more like 80 million quid. Oh, that's okay. That works. If we got Barkler for 80 million quid, I'll be all right with that. It's just they want, what's their name? PSG want 150 million, so they can fuck off. But I think that's the kind of player we go for now. And I think Juventus will talk themselves out of it. But I think sort of like a Nico Williams would be good for us, just because it's a little bit more quality. Although he did something in the World Cup final, I'll never forget when he fucking dribbled himself out of an assist. But we watch that every week with Martinelli, so what does it matter? What I don't really want is another Martinelli. But I think you mentioned weak areas in our team, and that's not the only one anymore, man. So I think we're going to have to balance our books accordingly, or at least look at how much we're spending, because I think it's unrelated to Vini, of course, but I think we're going to spend in defense sort of centre back, right back, and I just saw some horrifying reports about a certain Argentinian right-sided centre back this afternoon, and I was not happy. I am not happy.
The links are worrying, aren't they?
I just hope Atletico Madrid or Tottenham just talk us out of it and say, no, we're not doing business with you, because we are fucking stupid and we would do something like that.
I mean, it's a thing I used to think when Chelsea was selling us like Czech, when he was clearly just way past his best, and then there was a couple of other players around that time. Yeah, players like that who, if Chelsea are selling them to us, it means they're not good enough. Like, why would Chelsea let them go to come to us? And why would Tottenham be happy to sell him to Arsenal when they know what will happen if he does?
Jorginho was one as well. Yep.
Yeah. They know that they know that it's not a massive risk. If they end up selling to us, that that it'd be a bad signing, just because if it wasn't, we wouldn't be getting him. They would keep him rather than selling to us if it was going to cause any sort of threat to them.
Yeah.
Which, that'd be terrible.
So this kind of ties into what I was saying about Bruno earlier. We're just not that club anymore. We're just not that club, and we're not going to sign someone for signing someone's sake. I do think Zolis is a bit of a punt for us. If it works out, great. If it doesn't,
it's a bit of a wild card, isn't it? I think.
I think so. I think so. I think we'll go at the defense because just everything points towards the fact that we're going up Konsa now. Romero. I can't even bring myself to think about that. But then, yeah, so like we're definitely doing something in defence. I think we're gonna. There aren't that many players left, Dave, for the left wing, and I think that's kind of half the problem, isn't it?
I think it's the problem when we started speaking about it, wasn't it? They're just not the names, and that was always my thing when Nath was always sort of like almost like we've got to get someone. You know, it almost doesn't matter who. We've got to get someone just like numbers wise. But I was just always against that because I just don't think the quality is there for at least what they're going to cost you. You know, I think the risk is just far too much at what they're going to come in at.
Yeah, and they're all a long way down from Vini Jr. They're all a long way down. So, do we? So look, I mean, look at the sort of the brass tacks a bit. Do we need the numbers? No. We've got players who play there. They're just not that great. And so what we're saying is if we bring someone in who's not elite, like Vini Jr., like Kvaratskhelia or like those players, basically. If we bring in someone who's then we're almost sort of saying, okay, you could be one of those players. Well, in that case, just give the fucking minutes to Martinelli and wait till wait till Christmas or wait till next season because he's a gamble as well. If Martinelli, do you remember that season? I always go back to the season when we had black shirts, right? Awesome kit that we had. Martinelli was brilliant that season. He was brilliant that season. So was Gabriel Jesus. So was Odegaard. If Martinelli decides to have, you know, it sounds crazy to say an Indian summer for a 26-year-old or whatever he is, but for him to have a real good season next year, do I think that a Barcola, a Williams, Kenan Yildiz, or even I'm sure Mikel Arteta scouted someone at Sociedad. He likes giving money to Chelsea and Sociedad for some reason. So there's bound to be someone at Sociedad that he's had his look at in the Basque country there. Are we not taking a risk with them as well, but just for more money now? Because say Martinelli gets you 7-8 goals next year. What's to say Nico Williams will better that? What's to say Kenan Yildiz will better that? Do you know what I mean? So I'm not. Vini Jr. and players like that are a clear distinction. So a clear distinction between them and the level we've currently got. I'm not sure the rest of them are. You know. Do you know what's going to happen?
That's always been my argument on it.
Yeah. I think you're right. I think you're right, and I'm because of the failure of backing Nathan and getting onto his side, I may just back you on this one. But there's always Marcus Rashford, who we can discuss safely now because Nathan's not here. Yeah. There's always Marcus Rashford, who, you know,
Man United want to offload him. They want to just get rid of him. He's not going to cost a lot. He's not going to be a big gamble.
I think so. I think you drop 40 million cash on him, and like by cash I mean, you know, no kind of contingencies involved. They take that all day.
Well, I think it was 30, wasn't it, from Barca? I think that was all it was going to cost them, wasn't it?
They'll just
I think anything even close to that amount, and you're probably getting him. You know, the wages are the issue, but
they'll put wanker tax on us. They'll put wanker tax on us for like 10 million, and then who gives a shit? Well, pay him what he wants. Just fucking do the job, mate. Who cares? You know,
so people disagree. I honestly think he'd fit good, like pretty well with us.
Yeah, I think we'll take a chance. I would like it if it's going to be anyone. I'd like it to be Rashford. And that's because of in the level that kind of left at the moment. Like I will take Rashford up in front of Barcola.
I agree with you.
And I think the other one that kind of is a market opportunity, but again, he's a mystery of a player, and fuck knows if he's actually any good or not, is the AC Milan left winger, Rafael Leao. And if they're letting him go for 30-odd million quid, then he can't be that good, right?
I don't think he's up to it. But I'd still probably rather take a punt on him than some of these others who say the 140, 150 million pound wingers that we're potentially going to be in the competition for. I'd much rather take a punt on someone at 30 at the moment.
Yeah,
I don't think there's a lot between these players. just you know, an upside, I guess, with some of the younger players. But I think there's a massive risk that comes with him as well.
Yeah, there's look. All I want Martinelli to do is just be more confident with the ball.
Yeah,
He in the last year or so, 18 months, he's been in a shell, and he does everything right, going back, going forward, right up until the moment where he gets near the penalty area, and then he goes down a blind alley and then comes back out and gives the ball away again, or gives the ball to the left back or whatever. And our left backs are more adventurous than Martinelli. Now, there's going to be people on there who are smarter than me who are going to say that's tactical or whatever. And in which case, why are we wasting our time signing a left winger then? If that's how you want to play, what's the point? Fair enough. You became champions like that. Okay, cool. See how far it gets you. But if you've shown the intent to go for Vini, that shows me that you think it's something we can upgrade on. In which case, do it. But I'll make you right. I don't think there's the options out there, and I'd rather do 30, 40 million quid than 150. Barkler or something like that.
Well, I've said a lot during this that, you know, Nwaneri, if he was at one of these other clubs, he'd be someone we'd be going for. You know, he'd be in the same bracket as like a Diamande or someone who's going to Madrid for
that's a great shout.
150 million or something. He's played 30 odd games for them at, at the top level. He's as much of a wild card as, you know, so many players out there are.
It's a great shout.
We've got him there. I don't know if he even can play on the left, to be honest. You know, he seems to be more of a right-sided or central player, but I know players prefer one side, but if he's not playing loads, surely in training you can really work to try and get him to adapt to that left-hand side. And
it's definitely young enough.
If he can be that player, then great. Like, you know, we might have someone there ready-made. And I'm not saying he can be it, but, you know, there's issues with all these other players. There's the same issues with him, but we're not paying any money for it. I don't know. I'd rather...
No, I'll make you right. It's a great shout, mate. I mean, look, if you're going to say to someone... Look,
I know Nath doesn't like that one when we've spoken about it before.
Yeah.
But so spicy to say.
Yeah. If you're gonna say to Eze, if you're gonna say to Ethan, I struggle saying his surname as well. I don't know why. It's my fault.
It's like a tongue twister, isn't it? It just doesn't.
Yeah.
when I'm
Ethan and Wary. Nowhere.
Yeah.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. So if you're gonna say Eze, Ethan, Gabriel Martinelli, if you're gonna say, look, we tried to upgrade this season. Look, if you want to start for Arsenal, that's your spot.
That's it.
You know, otherwise you're not going to start, and I think that's fair. We've also got a nuclear option, which I'm not in favour of, which is starting Saka there, which is going to go Saka go left and someone else goes right. I don't really want to do that, to be honest, because you don't change some of the best players in the world in their position to another position. People have suggested it, and I've seen it. He's good enough. He'll make it work. But how much can we rely on Saka this year? We'll find out. But I don't really want to move him from the right. And then we've got our dear old friend, Noni Madueke. So that's the danger, mate. That's the danger. The danger is Arteta says, well, I'm not going to bother sign anyone. Fies and Dave are completely correct in their logic. In fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to play Noni on the left.
Well, it's what he was signed for, isn't it? I think when he came in, that was the idea that he was a left out. He was going to work out there, which he just didn't, did he?
No.
I don't think he's any worse on the left than he was on the right, in fairness. You know, I think similar levels.
We can do a poll podcast on the fact that fucking Stevie Wonder could see that Noni's shit. But you know, we've done 50 million quid on him, so it is what it is, isn't it? But look, yeah, we need an upgrade. That's obvious. I don't think it's out there. And so I make you right. I think the most sensible thing to do is to take a loan deal for someone who's out of favour at their club, or do 30, 40 million quid. We've done it on Solis. We've spoken about it. We agreed that Solis is a type of a punt type signing. You see Fabio Vieira, you see if it works out, have you bypass their development at, say, Brighton or someone like that, or Newcastle, and then go and buy him for 80 million quid. like Gordon ended up being, going from Everton to Newcastle to Barcelona. Still amazing. But so like you think to yourself, well, should we do? You take a punt on someone, well then why not take a punt on Rashford? I still think there's a really good footballer in Rashford.
I agree with you.
I think there's something, he showed it at Barcelona last year. That's undeniable. You might not want to sign Rashford for other reasons. I get it, but it can't be footballing reasons because he played really well at Barcelona last year. He surprised everyone, including me. And, what are you expecting from a left winger? If you're Vini, you spend all that money on him, franchise player, package and all that. Everyone spoke about all the commercials. But as a player, what did you want from Vini? 15 goals a year? That's what you want, isn't it? From a left-sided midfielder, left winger, 10, 15 goals
Especially
a year.
in our setup. I think you need that from those other players.
Yeah. So
we haven't got a prolific striker, have we? Really? There's there's issues there, but
that's
they're even harder to upgrade on. But I think we need more out of the other players to support players around them. Sorry.
Yeah. I think now you and I are being very sensible about this and suggesting sensible options. I don't think there is one. I think Arsenal are going to go for Alvarez. I think the sensible boat left the dock a long time ago, mate. I think we're going to go for Alvarez, and I really hope we don't stockpile lots of strikers, half forwards, without a tactical shift because. We're just going to get lumbered with them, mate. We're not going to be able to get rid of Havertz. We're not going to be able to get rid of Gyökeres. If you get Alvarez as well, we can't play him on the left, man, because he's not a left. That's not what we want at the left wing. No. He plays there out of necessity. So I don't know, mate. I think we were all in for Vini, and I think that might backfire on us. I think it would have been good. Had it worked out, of course, it would have been amazing. But this part is a tough part to plan for.
I got a horrible feeling we're going to have another sort of deadline day or around that time. We'll be trying to sign Thomas Lamar for like 90 million or whatever it was.
And then
obviously he ended up being an absolute disaster, didn't he? After that, he didn't really go anywhere and do much, did he? Did he go to Madrid as well?
Atletico Madrid, yeah.
Yeah,
for 90 million quid.
Yeah, and didn't really do anything, did he? But
no, he became their.
I don't actually know where he is these days. I don't know what he's up to.
He's still there.
Is he? He's still there, is he?
Last time I heard, he was still there. Yeah, which was about a year ago. He was still there, seeing out his contract because he's not going to get another one.
I just got a real bad feeling it's going to be one of those where we just almost panic big deal. Rather than a panic signing when we went and got Mertesacker and Arteta that year, we'll panic and spend 120 million on someone.
God forbid we have a bad start to the season. That will definitely happen.
Well, with all the players out, there's every chance.
Yeah.
But
we'll see.
Let's leave it there then.
I think we're gonna go for and spend a lot on. I think we're gonna get Konsa, mate. I think we're gonna get Konsa first, and then we'll have a meltdown online, and then the club will go right. Let's go and buy this Turkish lad for 150 million.
Yeah,
and I just don't think he's gonna get more than like. I'd love to be wrong, but I just don't. I can't see him getting more goals than Martinelli does, and Martinelli gets fuck all. So we'll see.
Well, on that wonderful note, it started well, didn't it? This podcast, it started positive. We just speaking about Bruno, and then got into
Bruno's brilliant. Bruno's brilliant.
Bruno, brilliant signing. Can't wait to see him.
Yeah, get Vini off the fucking screen. I don't want to see his face anymore. I don't want to see your face anymore.
There you go.
Yay! It's almost like we prepared that, right?
Yeah, got a few in there.
Yeah,
wonderful.
Yeah. Nice one.
That's another one for you. That's another one.
Look at that. Well, I'm optimistic, mate. I'm optimistic. We're building from a position of strength, and ultimately, there's another transfer window in December, and another one at the end of the season. So if we need to, we'll go again. So,
honestly, I think Martinelli being our big issue.
Yeah.
If that's our big issue now, go back a few years. He wouldn't have even been in the top 6 or 7. That left wing. It was a mess at times. So we should probably be happy that that's the big concern going into the season, that Martinelli is maybe not good enough. So
yeah.
That's as positive as I can be about that side at the moment, really.
Yeah,
but
I'm with you.
If you enjoyed this was a bonus episode. We normally record. Episodes go out on Tuesdays and Thursdays, so make sure you subscribe. I think we had like 4 new subscribers this week, so thanks for jumping on board. But I think on the stats, it's something like 80 or 90% of people who watch our show do not subscribe. So if you do, if you're watching this now, please subscribe. It really does make a difference. Helps us get up the lists and all of that stuff. Gets us shown to more people and helps us do lots more stuff.
And get involved. Get involved. Drop comments.
Yeah.
Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
Tell me I'm talking shit.
So half our comments come from fans of other clubs really these days. So
who genuinely tell us
we want some more Arsenal fans in there. Or even just jump on and try and wind up some of your rival fans. Just get in the comments and
just get involved, lads. It makes sense.
But we will be back on Tuesday, say, with Nath, hopefully. I think he should be back. But yeah, we want to just get out a special podcast now that we have officially signed Bruno. It's been announced. It feels like it's been done for a while, but yeah, officially been announced. And yeah, we've now got the best midfield in the world. So yeah.
Positivity.
Thanks.
Love it.
Thanks, Fires. We will see you next time.
Yeah. Look forward to it, mate.